why is Bitcoin making a comeback? What was the catalyst for this this new renewed interest in Bitcoin, particularly Bitcoin L2s, leveraging Bitcoin in DeFi, etc.?
Yeah, so I think there are a few different reasons, right? So first of all, Bitcoin is supposed to be playing like a bit way bigger roles than it is doing as of today. If you think about like the total market cap, Bitcoin is like more than half of the entire industry. So it's just like an elephant in the room that people knows it, but just haven't figured out like a smart way to really put Bitcoins into good use. So that's kind of the problem here, or the situation here, for a very, very long time. So the reason why this year it is like becoming a thing is that, so a few things. So starting from last year, there's been like inscriptions, and a few different assets could be issued on top of like Bitcoin network, and get people to think about actually Bitcoin can do a lot more things than just just like storing values and keep it as a gold on chain. And also, for example, the ETF pass for Bitcoin as well, which gives like the market a clear signal that so I mean the mainstream, let's say Wall Street, or say like these financial institutions and these big corps, they're accepting Bitcoins as a mainstream assets, which also creates a very good ground for people to think about, okay, then what's next? If everybody agrees this is a legit currency, this is like the next biggest smart money. So, and also given how big the market cap is, so what are the reasonable next steps? How can we put them into good use? Right, so that's the market to go to, and a lot of people started working on it. So that's also another good thing. And I think Babylon plays a very important role to acting as a catalyst in here. Is that so with like Babylon, actually, I mean, like if you want people to put BTC into good use, you have to, like, first you have to educate them, and also two, you have to incentivize them, right? So what are the return you're gonna get? What are the rewards you're gonna get? Like why you should be doing that. So Babylon provides a very good, solid, risk-free yield sources that stakers could actually gain yield and risk-free yield by mobilizing and utilizing their Bitcoin liquidity. So this is actually like a very good thing, lays a very good fundamentals. So then we build the liquid staking on top of that to free this part of liquidities and distribute the liquidity into all kinds of ecosystem. Then the whole kind of workflow just makes a whole lot of more sense than that. Yeah.
What are the technical improvements on Bitcoin, if any, that have made all of this possible? Like the inscriptions, but now this this wave of Bitcoin L2s, Babylon, Lorenzo. Like how is this possible now, or it wasn't possible, say, like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think there are a few like very very important updates in like upgrades in the last few years and also month as well. So I think the two biggest one is the SegWit upgrade, which allows like a bigger storage for each block for in OP return space, which you can put into more data. So that allows inscription and then many others good things to happen. The other thing is like the Taproot upgrade and also Taproot scripts. So with Taproot scripts, it's actually enhanced. It's not fully Turing complete, but it enables like more programmabilities on top of Bitcoin, which I think also Babylon is benefiting from it as well. So then they could build more complex systems on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's this. We were both at this Bitcoin event also in Hong Kong a couple of weeks ago, and people were telling me about this new thing called concatenation.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is and how it enables new features on Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not like truly an expert on this OPCAT. So the reason for that, I think the value in it is, so first of all, it's like the abbreviation of concatenation. So basically, like combines like different contexts into one. So if you like go through all of the operation instructions in the Bitcoin scripts, native scripts, it's in most cases it's like binary input. So you have this operator and you get like only two inputs with that, right? So it's pretty much impossible for you to kind of having like infinite have like list, or like having like a very long kind of data input into it. It's not readily possible for you to do it immediately on that, but with OPCAD, you can actually combine like longer data into it. I think the value for that is, so before that in the input, you can only have like one data, but while with OPCAD, it makes it possible for you to do like a list of data into the input. So every programming languages, it will have like the raw data type and also the list of the data type, which like that's pretty much like how do you pass down more complex data and also utilize more complex data in your program. So I've been like doing some like brainstorming with the team to see like how can we utilize that for briefly, but we all agree that there are going to be it is going to like enable great products on top of that.
Yeah, and so someone was telling me that actually concatenation also somehow enables new maths to be computed on Bitcoin. I'm not sure like
Which
how that works
Yeah,
exactly,
which
but
I think which is also true because if you think about this, right? So what is like I'm not saying like Bitcoin can do machine learning on top of that, right? But what is machine learning? Basically, it's just like a matrix times matrix, or like a tons of matrix times matrix plus some activation functions. So on a very like naive level, so that's something like that, right? So actually, any matrix can be expanded into a longer list, right? So it's just pretty much the same thing, right? So once you can have like expand from one single data onto a list of data, technically you can enable even machine learning and all of these linear algebra on top of that. So this I would say is like it's a huge improvement. I agree with that.
yeah, cool. So what's the sentiment amongst conservative Bitcoiners? Not to say maxis, but yeah, people who are more conservative from the perspective of keeping Bitcoin simple and keeping Bitcoin say pure. What's the sentiment with regards to all this innovation happening on Bitcoin amongst that subset of the Bitcoin holders and enthusiasts?
Yeah, so I personally think a lot of things is like either you progress or you slowly die. So I think that's kind of my take on that. So I mean, Bitcoin is great for now, and I think Bitcoin will be forever, even if you don't do anything. So Bitcoin will still be there for like decades or even centuries or even longer. So I'm not saying like if you don't kind of having smart Bitcoins, you don't have like Bitcoin L2s, Bitcoin is going to disappear. So I don't think it's really going to happen. So this is one thing. But also two, we need to actually I mean like the decentralized finance is always progressing, right? And also there like the combination of trader finance and also crypto has been started for a while and keep getting faster and faster. You have like deeper like mingle between like traditional finance and also crypto as well. So the thing is that like the world is always evolving, is always like moving forward. And the question would be like, where do you see like Bitcoin fits into the picture? Right. So I think like for now it's a like a very good opportunity is that Bitcoin is still the first thing most people think about in terms of cryptocurrencies. And also given its huge value and its like whole reputation and the consensus in everyone that this is like pretty much the foundation of the whole cryptocurrencies and also Web3. So there are a lot of like attempts trying to like connecting dots, right? Connecting Bitcoin with all of the different dots in different industries and try to get things to work. So this is actually a very good trend to help people like to help Bitcoin not just to live but also to expand and to dominate and to like collaborate to enable in like all of this different ecosystem. But if you just say, okay, I'm out of this, I mean, you might be fine in the next 3 to 5 years that say, okay, Bitcoin is staying out of this, Bitcoin is staying out of that, Bitcoin is staying out of everything. But eventually, there's going to be some better technologies to totally replace Bitcoin eventually. So I'm not saying like your Bitcoin is going to worth nothing, but it probably won't like keeps performing as good as you would expect. So I mean, you should be like embracing changes and embracing innovations on top of that. Um, Bitcoin can only keep being greater when like the people working around it is getting better.
Yeah, I mean, I you know agree with that pretty wholeheartedly. I think that Bitcoin and every sort of crypto protocol needs to continuously improve. And the fact that Bitcoin enables this, the fact that it is possible that we have gotten here, I think as a permissionless protocol, people should have zero problem with that. The fact that it is possible and that people are leveraging existing Bitcoin architecture and infrastructure to create built Bitcoin L2s, grow BTC Fi, do liquid staking of Bitcoin is look, I mean, like, if Bitcoin comes out of this really libertarian sort of ideology, then doing things on Bitcoin and innovating on Bitcoin should shouldn't ruffle anyone's feathers, because it's not harming anyone else, and it is simply the expression of people's ideas and opinions about how Bitcoin should evolve. So I like that's sort of my stance on it.